everybody joining us today here on Burden and Purpose. Great conversations. Our objective is to highlight the good news through video and provide career path exposure to young adult. We are fortunate to have the pleasure and privilege to be joined by Eshauna Smith, CEO of Urban Allliance. Will, let's get it going.
Good afternoon, Eshauna. It's definitely great that you decided to join us. We're so happy that you decided to partner with us, and we're going to jump right in. So we're definitely interested to understand more about what UA does and the history behind the organization. So tell us a little bit about that.
Certainly. So we are Urban Allliance, a long-standing youth-serving nonprofit that was founded in DC in 1996. We now have the opportunity to serve students in DC, as well as Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, and Northern Virginia. What we do, or we were founded upon the premise of helping to support young people who are economically disadvantaged or come from backgrounds where they are not able to sort of access social capital, soft skills, early workforce experiences. We sort of came to this by wanting to make sure that those young people had open doors so that they could, get onto pathways of economic self-sufficiency. The main way that we do that is by pairing our young people with early workforce experiences with major companies across the country. These workforce experiences, these early jobs are basically amazing. They're 500 hours. They're during the senior year of all of our students. They are paid and they come with raises, and they also come with skills building, and both pre the internship, pre the job, as well as while the experience is happening.
Oh, wow.
So we've served to date, we've had about 20,000 young people go through our internship program. So we've been truly blessed to be able to work with young people for so many years and for so long.
Absolutely. And wow, so paid and built-in raises, and you also include skill sets in there to kind of sharpen us, from what I'm understanding. Is that correct?
That is correct. So before any young person gets an opportunity to get an Urban Allliance internship or first job experience, we put them through a pretty solid and pretty, comprehensive 6 weeks soft skills boot camp where they come every day, great attitude, they have to come on time, they have to be ready to learn, and we teach them the basics of what it means to be in a workplace, what to wear, how to
Absolutely.
have the right kinds of conversations, how to approach tasks with a critical eye, how to work with your supervisors,
Yeah.
all of those sort of hidden skills that we now know our society has accepted the fact that those things are taught and they don't just come to us naturally. So that's some of the skills training that happens before they get into the internship, and then once they are in it, they get that reinforced skills
Yeah.
training happening every Friday
Okay.
when they're in the internship.
And so they're able to hit the ground running. That's really amazing. So tell us why early access to employment is such a game changer, because I definitely think it's a game changer for low income and minority students with historically reduced access to professional opportunities. Tell us about that.
Certainly. So having the opportunity to practice skills in a real world work setting, where you're getting coaching from adults, where you're getting lots of hands-on experiences. The reason that is such a game changer is because really it does help to, like you just alluded to, level the playing field. So many of the students that we work with are coming from communities that are under-resourced. The schools in those communities are also don't offer job training or mix that into the school day. Those schools are very, very stretched and tapped as well. You have households where parents are unfortunately in and out of jobs, or there's not stable employment, so you're not seeing you're not able to pick up some of the habits that, some folks who do have two consistently working parents
Right,
do.
right. Absolutely.
And so many of them are starting with a disadvantage. And so what we are doing is making sure they can access this kind of an experience again, where they get hands-on workforce experience.
Right, right.
They're getting access to a network of adults who are successful
Right,
and who
right.
have, built their careers.
Okay,
They're
okay.
learning social capital, all of that they're getting early, so that we can sort of close the gap that is automatically, close the skills gap that many of our students are, quite frankly, born into.
Okay.
And so that early workforce experience is extremely critical, and for leveling the playing field, but also it helps with your confidence,
Yes.
your self-esteem. And once our students, and I can also, also take this from personal experience, but once our students understand that these buildings, these corporations, these workplaces are not off limits to them, that
Right.
they actually belong there and they can actually do very well there, their whole mindset shifts, their
Yeah.
whole outlook on opportunity changes.
Absolutely, and it has to be even more reassuring for whoever their supervisor is to see them come in with confidence, ready to hit the ground running, excited to get the ball rolling and all of that stuff. So that sounds pretty exciting. Now, I know that there's a lot going on with this pandemic, and a lot of us are making a lot of adjustments, and we're adapting to the way that we run things, our approach to things. So tell us, how have you all been able to, kind of shift and adapt even with COVID-19 going on?
Certainly. So we, like everyone else in the world, we've put everything into this virtual world. We mobilized really quickly. I'm really proud of our team and how we did that. And
Hmm.
so we have been to date over the past 7 weeks roughly to continue to support almost all 500 of the students that were in our high school internship program pre-COVID 19. And the way we've been able to keep them, earning and learning,
Hmm.
so they're all still earning their
Oh,
paychecks and
nice.
they're all still being positively engaged, is that they're either doing remote telework for their companies, or they're doing some sort of remote engagement with Urban Alliance staff and with the use of our workforce readiness and training curriculum. We're doing that virtually.
Okay.
So it's been great
Wow.
that we've been able to get our students connected in that way. We held national um, workshops
Okay.
that are virtual, and we've had about 400 students at a time on those
400
workshops,
students.
learning about goal setting, interviewing, networking. And
Wow.
so we really have not missed a beat. And so we're really trying to make sure that they continue to be positively engaged and that they continue to earn money.
Yes, yes.
Um, 80% of our students pre-COVID 19
Hmm.
use their Urban Alliance paycheck to help their households with expenses.
Wow.
We know that now that is probably even more, of what needs to happen. And so we know how important it is that they continue to have an opportunity to earn an income.
Absolutely. Everyone, if you're just joining in, we have the great privilege of speaking with Miss Eshauna Smith. She is the Executive Director with Urban Alliance. And again, we're so glad to have you with us. Um, we've just been talking about how you all have been adapting even with COVID-19 going on. And for you all to be able to make those adjustments so quickly and streamline and introduce new processes even in the midst of your regular processes, making sure that you don't miss a beat. I feel like that speaks to not only your great leadership and expertise, but also the team that's around you. So we definitely are excited to hear that. So how has COVID-19, disproportionately impacted the population we serve in low income and minority communities? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I mean, that has been really disappointing and tough for everyone to see. And we've been talking about on the team, talking about that on the team, that the communities we serve are being disproportionately impacted by this this virus.
Right.
And we know that 33% of all hospitalizations from COVID-19 are with Black
Yes.
Americans,
Yes.
and who only make up 13% of the population.
Wow.
So we have basically, worked really hard to like double down, make sure we're still in it, make sure we're still engaged and serving. And I think really, it makes us sort of understand and appreciate that this work is more important than ever,
Yes.
because the communities that we serve, Black and Brown, are being, hardest hit.
Hmm.
And before this happened, they were already struggling, economically,
Yes.
education wise, not having access to, quality education in their neighborhoods. The youth unemployment rate pre COVID-19
Hmm.
was 3 times the overall
Wow.
unemployment rate. So our young people were getting hit hard. And now all of that is, has been exacerbated. So, we feel compelled to one, raise that as a very important message and to
Yeah.
let people understand
Yeah.
who's being most affected. We feel obligated to make sure we're sharing that with our funders, with our key stakeholders, with our employers, and then it's a really personal and critical call to action for us as an organization to um, continue the work that we were already doing, but to do even more. And I'll give you an example. Like we obviously, focus on workforce development
Right.
and access to early and meaningful workforce opportunities. But, when students have approached us, or,
Hmm.
when they're in need of other things, whether it's, support with rental assistance,
Okay.
or because their families are getting displaced, or if it's um, needing money to hold places for fall college spots, we try to figure out how we can help with that as well. Whether that's
Absolutely.
digging down deep in our resources as far as who we can refer them to, or even giving cash assistance where we can. So it's an all hands on deck
Yeah.
moment, but in particular for Black and Brown communities who are suffering through this virus
Yeah.
the most.
And I don't doubt that it's taxing, and we definitely can tell the passion for what you have for your students, even as you talk about all of this. So, tell us why the work that you do is so important in light of the long-term effects you will be seeing in the upcoming generations. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So, you know, we now have young people who, so there's two ends of this. One is the young people who, right now today, effectively lost their senior year. Um,
Yeah.
and what that means is young people didn't have as much time and support to really develop a really strong post high school plan.
Okay.
And the students we serve, the reason we're in there and working with them and providing additional supports to the schools that they attend is because they are often, due to a number of different circumstances, they're not the ones who come forth in January like, I got my college acceptance.
Right.
They are the ones who are still trying to figure out
The next
what
steps.
life is going to look like for
Yeah.
them post high school, and how they can make sure that they don't become disconnected after high school, where
Right.
they're not working or in school earning money, etc. So
Absolutely.
they have just effectively lost that opportunity to plan and to prepare. And so we're standing in that gap. We're committed to working with our students, even potentially beyond this program year, to just keep making sure they will have viable plans as they now enter a world where there's 26 million plus people unemployed, and now they are going to be competing
Yeah.
in that world for jobs and ways to continue to support their families. Um, so that makes this work more important than ever. But even before
Hmm.
COVID-19, there was, millions of young people who were already disconnected,
Right.
who weren't in school, weren't working, and those young people are also going to have a really tough time trying to, build economically, and that number is going to grow. So on both ends, both trying to make sure this high school class is, you know, has a plan, and then as well as
Okay.
those who are already without a plan, the kind of work that we do is going to matter even more to make sure young people are in school and are working or have a way to become self-sufficient economically.
Wow, that is really amazing. So we know that, while we would like to feel like we are Superman and Superwoman, we always know that we are better when we're locked arms together. So how can the community help? What can we do to help you all on your mission?
Absolutely. We do this with an army of collaborators and champions and supporters.
Yes,
I want to, take this opportunity to thank all of the employers who have continued to stick with us and pay students so that they have paychecks coming in during this really, really critical time. So, one way that folks can help is to, if you are an employer, you want to reach out and find out ways that you can help us continue to prepare young people for strong futures and strong ways to access the future workforce. We, of course, are in need of donations and resources to make sure that our young people stay earning and
absolutely.
learning during this time,
Yes,
that we're able to help them access resources that they need to help themselves and their families. And we're also, looking for and in need of folks who may can mentor
mhm,
and can help us with coaching. We think people have a little more time on their hands right now. So
right.
if you want to, do a virtual conversation, to help inspire young people about their careers and what they can be thinking about now during this time, we want all takers. Because I want to just lift up the coaching and the mentoring piece right now. We can't forget that, it's just so important that young people have caring adults in their corner
Right.
who can connect them into networks,
Yeah.
who can help them, mentor them as they try to, figure this all out. We know that even today in the world that we live in, 80% of jobs are given by, are achieved or gotten by somebody we know.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
this is a great time for both caring adults and young people to be connecting with each other,
Yes. Yes.
be it LinkedIn or virtually, however,
Networking.
so we can keep
Right.
those networks robust and healthy.
Getting that good old insight. Absolutely. And so, if you all just joined us, or if you come in the middle, once again, we're talking with the executive director of Urban Alliance and the person of our Miss Eshauna Smith. Um, she has been giving us a wealth of knowledge as it relates to um, all of the great things that her organization is doing, and it's really exciting. So she's told us just now how the community can help. So tell us all about how they can get in contact with Urban Alliance and all of that good information.
Yeah, the best way is to go to our website, which is theurbanialliance.org. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. We're on all of the social media channels. So please look us up. I am eSmith underscore UA on
Okay,
Twitter. So you can always get to me as well.
absolutely.
Um, but yeah, reach out to us. We are looking for any bit of help that we can get. But you know, there's just a lot that folks can do right now to contribute to making sure that our next generation of young people have what they need to succeed and are given the chances that so many of us, received to really, sharpen our talents and to like
Yeah,
go after our dreams. So, you know.
absolutely. I can't tell you what a great blessing this was, and I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to introduce, only introduce, but give us more of an awareness about Urban Alliance. And I'm telling you, this is incredible thing, and I believe it's definitely a game changer. And I will encourage anybody who's viewing to definitely go and check them out. Once again, Executive Director of Urban Alliance, Ms. Eshauna Smith, we thank you so much. We hope that you have a great one. Thank you so much. You all
All
are
right, take
incredible.
care.
Thank you. Thank you.